Making a decision to go back to school is one that we cannot take lightly. As someone who has just made the decision to go back to school, one thing I will say is that this time around, I'm a whole lot smarter than I was when I originally went to school. For a lot of borrowers who enter into school, enter into college, we do this when we're like 18 years old, and that was me entering into school at a very young age. Wasn't sure what questions to ask. All I know is that I was just excited to go back to school. But this time around, as someone who attended one of the schools that was in the sweet settlement and dealing with borrowers defense and putting in applications, all of that, I want to make sure that this time around, I said for myself, that I know exactly how to protect myself. Not only that, to also help others as well, to look out for signs to make sure that they avoid any potential of being scammed in these colleges, because we know that these schools have been allowed to go on for so long unchecked for so long, and it's still happening today. We also still have a lot of borrowers who are still waiting on decisions on their borrower's defense applications, and this process for a whole lot more is going to be years before a decision is made. So it's extremely important that if you are someone who is in school, if you are someone that's making a decision to go back to school like myself, or if you're someone that are raising children that are going to be entering into college, we have to make sure that we are educated, not only just about student loans, but also educating ourselves on what to look out for when we're going through the enrollment process. And also, if our children are entering to school, that they understand how to, what signs to look for, what questions to ask prior to taking out any loans, and also prior to signing on any enrollment agreements to enter into college. So let's talk about it a bit. First and foremost, when you have federal student loans, the Department of Education, there's multiple programs that a borrower can enter into to potentially have their student loan discharged. I'm going to go directly to the student aid website. My name is Tammy Arrington. I forget to introduce myself all the time. My name is Tammy Arrington. I'm the owner of Tammy A1 Consulting. What I do is just education, credit, student loans, just financial literacy in general. Nothing here that I'm going to tell you today is any type of financial or legal advice, but we are going to go to the source of the information so that way you're able to go and take a look at it for yourself. So like I said, we're going to go to the student aid website because the Department of Education, like I said, they have multiple programs for borrowers to that want to seek out loan forgiveness. Also, if there is an issue that you have with your school where there was any type of misleading or false statements that were made to you, that you could potentially have your loans discharged under borrower's defense. And that's something that you have been thinking about, or you're not sure if you qualify for, you just go to studentaid.gov. And when you get to studentaid.gov, you're going to click on loan forgiveness. And let's just go there. Okay. So let me show you exactly what the information looks like. Okay. So I have a presentation here that I created, and then also we'll be going back and forth to different websites. But you go to loan forgiveness. And when you get to loan forgiveness, you'll see everything that is applicable to a federal student loan. But you go to types of loan forgiveness. And this is where you'll see all of the information connected if you have federal student loans, what type of forgiveness you may qualify for. So it gives you all of the information here. And I'm going to do some other videos about total, and actually I have other videos about total and permanent disability, public service loan forgiveness, have information about all that, but I'm going to be doing some more. But if your school has closed, if you're dealing with a school that has closed down and you weren't able to get your education, and they did not offer another program for you, you may be able to have a discharge under closed school discharge. And this is where we get to the borrower's defense loan discharge. This is if your school has misled you. And this is why I say it's important that we are educating ourselves to look out for those signs, to avoid any type of predatory actions by these schools. Because when it comes to these recruiters that are trying to get you to enroll in school, their job is to get you enrolled in that school. And because we know that there's patterns of behavior when it comes to schools misleading borrowers to get them to enroll, we have to know what signs to look out for. So let's talk about that, okay? I'm going to go back to my presentation that I have here. So what I created was some things that, and this is for myself as well, because like I said, I'm entering back into school in January. I'm going to get my paralegal, law and paralegal degree. So I have to look out for these things as well. And like I said, I attended a school that was in the sweet settlement, and due to the fact of them, false and misleading information. But these are some things that I was just like to help borrowers look out for. And this when it comes to admissions and recruiting, these are some red flags that you should be looking out for if there is a recruiter or an advisor, whoever you're speaking with at the school to get you to enroll, or even if you're just reaching out to the school with some just generalized questions, just some things that you should be looking for that'll kind of give you those red flags if this is the proper school for you. Then we're going to look at some resources as well where you can check the history and the background of the school. But anything that has to deal with high pressure sales tactics, meaning they're trying to push you to enroll now, claiming that there's limited spots without giving you time to think. That is one of the biggest things that I hear when it comes to aggressive and deceptive recruitment under borrowers defense, because I also assist with borrowers defense applications. But one of the things is being pressured to enroll. There was a lot of borrowers who were told by their advisors, those recruiters, that there's not many spots left. If they don't enroll today, then they'll miss their chance to enroll. So those are things that you want to look out for as well. Guaranteeing things like job placement rates, things as far as